welcome to the channel. I hope you're all well. I was recently asked by an American subscriber about the Walt's worm and do we use it in Europe and in Spain in particular, and how popular might it be? Well, I have to say that Walt's worm is not, to the best of my knowledge, a regular fly used in Spain, and certainly not in competition. I think I would have seen it or heard of it being used, but in Spain I don't think it's used at all, to the best of my knowledge. Now, obviously it is a very, very popular fly in the United States, and we would probably say on this side of the pond that it's just a hare's ear. Now, one could argue that it is a specific tying. Now, Walt Young, who the fly was named after, a Pennsylvania fly fisherman and fly tyer, was initially tied as an imitation for a sow bug, and it's gone on from there. Now, it is also said that it is a derivative of the Utah bug, and which was a derivative of Frank Sawyer's killer bug. Frank Sawyer being famous for inventing the pheasant-tail nymph. Now, as I say, it's very popular in the United States, and it is tied in varying ways from what I can see. And certainly initially, it was not tied on a jig hook or with a bead, but that has become the modus operandi in these modern times. It was just tied on a hook with lead underbelly and then a hare's ear body on top. And the hare's ear that was used had a reflective material in it. Some used antron, some used a specific hairline hare's ear. But today I'm going to tie what I'm told is a popular version, the mustard Walt's worm. In the vise I have a size 16 jig hook and a 2.8 gold bead, and I'm tying with 12/0 yellow thread. Now I'm just going to set the bead and lay down a bed of thread, because I'm also going to add some lead wire, because Walt's worm is fished very close to the bottom. Now I'm using a 0.010 lead wire, which is relatively fine. It doesn't need to be a heavy lead wire for this small hook. I'll just take a piece off. And I'm just going to put the lead wire into the hole of the bead and tie it in. And wind on the lead wire. And break it off. Now I'm also going to put some glue on there just to make sure that it stays in place, like so. Just adjust that in the vise. And I'm going to put some wraps over the top as well to make sure that it's secure, and wind down to the rear of the fly. Now I have seen the Walt's worm tied short and long, so I'm going to tie it somewhere close to the bend but not around the bend. Now mustard Walt's worm has a specific colour, and there is a dubbing which is called mustard Walt's worm or mustard hare's ear or something of that nature, which is readily available in the United States, but I've decided to make my own. And here I have done it by mixing some hare's ear, some light olive hare's ear, and the piece de resistance to create the flash that is required is some yellow hare's ear with some UV flash in it, and I've mixed the three together. and I end up with this. And as you can see, I've labelled it Mustard Waltz. Now obviously, as I say, not being a particular tyer of the waltz flies, and certainly the mustard waltz, if I've got this colour wrong, I do apologise, but it seems to me that it's a close resemblance to what is available online and used by American fly tyers. I'm dubbing this on quite tight. It's not a loosely tied fly. Let's see how we get on with this. Obviously need some more. Now this fly also in some circles has a rib, or people add a rib, presumably to extend the life of the fly, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep wrapping on the body material. Thicken it up as I get towards the bead. Just put a little bit more, and I think we're almost there. Yeah, and before I tie it off, I'm going to put some glue onto the thread just to secure it. And trim up the tying thread. Now, some people trim it up, some people leave it as it is. I'm going to leave it just as it is, and that's my impression of the mustard waltz worm. Now, there are obviously favourites, and this is the standard waltz worm with no additions. And also the sexy waltz worm. This has got a pearl rib, and it has a fluorescent reflective or UV reflective collar. So that's my take on the waltz worm. I hope I'm as close to it as possible. But as I say, it's not something that I've seen used or I think is used in Spain. But maybe I can start a new trend. Let's wait and see. So there you go, the mustard waltz worm, which I believe is a favourite, and certainly a favourite of that subscriber that I was referring to. I hope you enjoyed the tying. Don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for viewing. Bye.